In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can use C++ style arrays and the Witty library. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and create our array. And the array is going to be of type char, and I'm going to call it dozen eggs. I could say a dozen eggs, but I'll just say dozen eggs. It's going to have 12 elements, and I'm going to initialize it as being empty at first. And then the next thing I'm going to do is actually access the elements of this, or set the elements of this array. So as you can see, our first element, starting at the index of 0, is going to be egg 1. And what I'm going to do, instead of typing each and every value, I'm going to do a copy and paste. And let's see what we have here so far. We have egg 1, egg 2, egg 3, egg 4, egg 5, 6. Again, let's try it again. 7, and then we have 8. Okay, we have 9, 10, 11, and 12. And then let's just change the index of each one. And if you know anything about C++, which you should, if you're watching this tutorial, the index starts at 0. The first element always starts at 0. So even though the numbers kind of don't line up, just know that the first element in an array starts at 0. And the last element is going to be 11. So now we have our 12 eggs. And what I'm going to do here, I'm going to line this up a little bit. All right. And now we have our array with 12 elements. And the next thing we want to do is I'm going to set the title of our application. We haven't done that yet. And what you're doing here is you're setting the application title, and this is going to be shown in the browser window. Declaring arrays. And then we're going to get rid of our label. Going to change this header tag to a witty text. And now we're going to actually get access to the elements in our array. We're just going to do a few of them. So we're going to add a widget, and this is the first time we've actually used the add widget method. And basically, you're just adding a widget to your widget hierarchy in Witty. And what we want to do is the first element in our array is and as you can see, that's just going to say, just print off the value, print off the text of what our element is going to be. And so I'm going to do this 2 more times. I'm going to do the first element. I'm going to do the 5th element. And that was a good movie, by the way. And I'm going to do the 12th element. Then I'm going to space this out. And then now we're actually going to get access to the array elements themselves. So I'm going to actually add another widget. Add another witty text dynamically. I'm going to add a witty string. And create a placeholder. And our argument is going to be the first element in our array. And as you can see, like I said, elements or arrays start with 0. So that's going to be our first element of our array. and I'm going to do some paragraph tags. I thought about doing a witty break, but if you just add a paragraph tag, that gives you space between your text on the page. And then I'm going to do copy and paste. And if you're a programmer, just know that copy and paste is your friend. Just don't abuse it. And I already see I have an error here. There we go. Make sure our brackets line up correctly. And since we're doing the fifth element, that means we're going to get the fourth element in the array, which is actually the fifth. And then that is the last element in our array. And then the only thing left to do is just know that we're returning the application to the caller. So you see we declared our array, added the elements, displayed some text, and then we actually access each individual array element and just passed it as an argument to our witty string that was added to our witty text widget. And we introduced the add widget from the root witty container. And so let's see if we can just run CMake and compile the project. Alright, and we'll run the witty server. Windows has prompted me to add it to the firewall. And then in Chrome, we have localhost port 9090 up and running. And we have an error. Let's see. I guess I didn't take care of all my... No, I did not. That's what I love about this tutorial. You'll see me make quite a few errors. So I'm going to shut down the witty server, and if you want to shut it down, all you have to do is click on the red X. I'm going to compile it again. And that was not a syntax error, that was a compile time error. Run it again, and this time it should display. So the first element in our array is egg 1, and we use paragraph tags to space everything out. And the fifth element is egg number 5, and the 12th element is egg number 12. So that just shows you a basic overview of how you can use C++ style arrays using the witty library. I'll see you in the next tutorial.